Hello and welcome, or welcome back if you are new and we have not met. My name is Kate and this is my place. In my place, we do a little bit of planning, cash budgeting, cash stuffing, paying off debt, savings challenges, and so much more as we are building our best life. In today's video, we are going to be reviewing our expenses from the second week of February and closing it out so we are ready to go into week 3. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around because we're going to be getting right into the video. Hey everybody, so week 2 is definitely an interesting week. I believe that I did much better than I did on week 1. So essentially, I was recording the week 1 last Friday, and my kiddo interrupted, and I had, made him a deal that if he went to Costco with me, I would get him some pizza. Because going to Costco, getting a pizza, it's always been a thing for him, and I'm sure for many other families. And so I intended on coming back home and finishing up that video, and it didn't happen. In fact, everything snowballed after that, and I ended up not recording the end of that video until early this morning before work. So, well, I don't know how early it was, but it was before work. And so now we're going to be closing out the budget on my lunch break. So we are going to hop right into it and start off with my expenses and how we did. I am still trying to get used to the setup and remembering to zoom things in so that you guys can see everything okay. So we are going to try this and see how we do. So our rollover from week 1 was $1,155.69. A big reason it was that is because our rent came out later than expected. So our salary came in at $1714.64. And then our rent did end up coming right out at $1603. And then my boyfriend was at Speedway and he picked something up for himself for $3. This was an unexpected / unbudgeted subscription that came out. Hello Tech is a company that will help you set up and take down your electronics, and I'm sure a bunch of other things. It's something my boyfriend found when we first bought our larger television, and we used it during the move, and it was supposed to be canceled, and lo and behold, it was not. So it was an unbudgeted expense that came out, and we are in the process of trying to make sure that that gets canceled so that we don't get charged next month. We had a banking fee, which was miscellaneous for 10 cents. Amazon, I order our paper plates from Amazon, and I also ordered a pack of our favorite flavor of Alani's, and I had credit at Amazon, so that only ended up costing us $15.62. And for right now, our grocery budget is going to cover not only our food, but any of the household items that we might need. So paper plates, paper towel, toilet paper, things like that. So that was $15.62 out of the grocery budget. We had a change to savings for $1.60. Our Everlance subscription came out for $8.47. We had our first dash income for $167.01. And then an afterpay payment, $10. So what happened is 2 of the Afterpay payments ended up coming out of my personal account. So we just transferred the $10 over to cover those. And then we had a pit stop at Kroger, which was a grocery purchase for $12.98. Credit card payment for $41. A firm payment for $13.50. This was a spending purchase, and I'm putting it under the unexpected unbudgeted for $5.29. So I did an in-app purchase during week 1 when I was on my spending spree, and it ended up coming out of this week's budget because that's when it was posted. And for some odd reason, Apple purchases, whether they be subscriptions, sometimes are delayed. So that is what that was. And then we had another change to saving for $1.76. We have a PayPal for-pay payment for $15.76. A Zip payment for $16.59. PayPal for $21.20. $18.26. $11.49. Klarna for $34.19. PayPal for $9.75, and another one for $20.32. And then our XM subscription came out for $14.54. Myers Express, which is the gas station, my boyfriend picked up some chew, and I put that in the miscellaneous as well for $4.97. A grocery stop. Here's when my son and I went to Costco, and I spent $68.42. Costco right now is the best place to find eggs at an affordable price. I got 2 dozen organic, cage-free, like all it's supposed to be really good eggs, and I paid $8.90 some odd cents for 2 dozen. I went to Aldi's to finish my grocery shopping, which we'll see here in a minute, and I saw that a dozen eggs at Aldi's were almost $6 here in Michigan. So I got 4 dozen eggs. I buy my Good Culture cottage cheese at Costco because it's way more affordable. You get a huge, I think it's like a 48-ounce tub for $7.69 or something like that. And then I always buy our bottled water there. Our water where we live is well water, and it is not good. I mean, we can tolerate to drink it, but if we can manage buying bottled water or even jugs of water and then refilling the jugs, that's what we do for just our health and well-being and the maintenance of our small appliances. So that total ended up being $68.42. I got gas at Costco for $55.85. Here was another unbudgeted expense. For the food court at Costco, we spent $9.50. My son and I each got a slice of pizza, and then we each got something to drink, or he got an ice cream treat and I got a coffee thing that ended up being super sugary, and he finished. So here's another PayPal for $11.25. Afterpay for $34.41. $6.37. A Kroger stop it was a grocery stop for $30.55. So I picked up a few things left over that I needed that Aldi's didn't have. And then our other dash income of $171.29. Change to savings for $8.58. An affirm payment for $10.27. And then we have another for-pay for $11.41, and then one for $20.41, and then we had another credit card payment for $26.42, a firm for $26.90, $11.03, and then here's my Aldi's grocery haul for $134.13. I totally meant to record a meal plan and a grocery haul for y'all this week, but yeah, it snowballed and I didn't get to recording it. My ADHD took over and it didn't happen. My boyfriend got gas at Costco for $32 before heading out of town for the week. Afterpay payment of $23.13. We had a change to savings for $271. Another afterpay for $471. $625. $13.60. $9.49. $9.94. $9.38. $9.39. $12.26. $14.36. $10.45. And then my son and I had a movie night on Monday, which was an unexpected thing that came up, and we watched the first two Jurassic Worlds, and we found that we could just buy the second one, which we both really preferred over the first, for $4.99. So that was another unbudgeted expense that we did. In my mind, totally worth it, because I got to spend quality time with my kiddo, which, him being 17, I don't get to do that often. And then I had to pay for parking one day this week for $19.55. Our Google storage bill came out for $9.99. Our Xfinity, which is our internet, came out for $83.26. We had more change, roll of savings for $5.18. And then again for $74. I had to pay towards my son's dental bill of $25. And then I had an afterpay Temu that I did that was unbudgeted for $5.11. So all in all, not a bad week. I had a few slip ups, but nowhere near where I was previously. And the goal has been, with the no spending, is so that we can roll as much money over towards the end of the month when our salary is going to be coming in shorter than normal due to collections that we're dealing with. So yeah, I believe the number that I need to make sure that we have in the bank in order to get through until the next pay period is, I have to roll over around $580 to $590 in order to cover the rest of the bills for the rest of the month. So the goal is to crack down on the impulsive spending so that we are not in the deep end come the end of the month. So now what we're going to do real quick is all those numbers that we went over on the other page, I'm going to plug into my budget just to make sure that everything balances out and all of our money got assigned a spot to go. So let's get into this. So again, our rollover was on point. It was the 1155 and some change, 69. The salary that we had come in was 1714.64, and then the dash income ended up being 338.30, I believe. One moment, let me double check that. Okay, so I was right. It was 338.30. So when all three of these numbers add up, I didn't pull any money into the bank. We had no other income come in, and I did not pull any money into the bank from savings. So our total ended up being $3,208.63. So for our bills and our debt, the credit card payment originally budgeted for $45, got paid at $41. Our second credit card payment, I budgeted $30 and it was $26.42. Everlance came in at $8.47. And then XM was, excuse me, $14.54. I was getting ahead of myself there. Google was the $9.99. Xfinity was the $83.26. And our rent did come in at the $16.03, which gives us a total of $1,786.68. When I subtract that number from our income, it gives us a leftover of $1,421.95. Our Affirm payments totaled $93.52. The Afterpay payments totaled $173.74. Our Klarna came in at $34.19. PayPal was $108.03. We did not have a payment for Sezzle this week. And then our Zip came in at $16.59. And that puts our total for our 4 pays at $426.07. And then when I subtract the $426.07 from what we had left over, the $1421.95, that leaves us $995.88 to work with. So gas this week, we came in under budget at $87.85. Groceries was our pitfall this week. We did overspend on groceries, and that came out to $261.70. Our miscellaneous was a tad bit higher as well at $27.62. And then medical was, I budgeted $75. This was supposed to be to cover my prescription, which I haven't got a chance to pick up yet. It is now at the pharmacy. It took them forever to get it. And thankfully the generic was available. So if you have ADHD and you're on medication, you probably have struggled to get your ADHD meds. The one that I take recently became available in a generic, so my insurance only prefers for us to have the generic. And when I have the ability to get a generic, it's $10. But with the back order on them all, my insurance was able to take it back down to the tier 3 cost of $75. That's why I put that there. And I completely forgot to put in my son's dental payment that I had to do. I knew ahead of time, it's on my calendar. But when I was prepping the budget, I completely forgot to put it in the budget. At least the one that I showed on camera. The one that I had off to the side, it was there. So thankfully, I didn't have to pay the $75 for my prescription. So this ended up being just the $25 for the dental bill, which brings our living expenses for the second week to $402.17. So that does not mean that the $50 from here negates this. I still went over budget. So what I plan to do is I try to do 200 a week. So this week, going into the third week, I'm not going to have $200 to work with for groceries. I am only going to have $150 because I overspent this week. So, and I'll get into that on my next video when I do the budget for week 3. So, the $50 for medical that is still in the bank, I will put towards getting my prescription, and now my son has a prescription available. So, that will go towards that, and then continue to roll over to help make sure at the end of the month that we are not in any, so the big thing is we're trying to keep the bank above water and keep everything within budget as much as possible. So once I take the 402.17 from our remaining of 995.88, we have a remainder of 593.71. So in regards to the spending done this week, we had the Hello Tech come out. That was unexpected, and that was $19.99. The Prime Video purchase, and that was $4.99. The app purchase that came through for $5.29. The food court purchase at Costco for $9.50. And then my Afterpay Temu impulse purchase for $5.11. So the total for this comes to $44.88. And when I subtract that from what we had left over, which is the $593.71, we have $548.83. For our change to savings, we did move over $21.92, which should leave us $526.91 to roll over into week 3. So let's do some quick math here. So we had $548.83 left, and we're going to subtract the savings that came out of $21.92, which leaves $526.91, and that $526.91 is actually what we have in the bank that is rolling over into week 3. So that makes me happy. So I am going to just double check here. So $21.92 plus $526.91 is $548.83. All right, so, and then just to triple check, what I like to do to ensure that I have a zero-based budget and all of my money has been assigned a place, I total everything up here in my summaries box, and the goal is for the total of our summaries box to match the total of our income. So I'm going to go ahead and write the numbers in real quick, calculate it, and we'll come back just to ensure that everything matches up. All right, so our total summaries box was $3,208.63, and our total income is $3,208.63, which gives us a zero-based budget, which doesn't happen very often and makes me very happy. All in all, week 2, I'm not gonna lie, it was a struggle. I cannot tell you how many times I was scrolling and was like, oh my gosh, that looks so cool, and went to go buy it, and I had to stop myself, and I had to, like, it was just hard. Like, the mental struggle that I had going on in my brain was, it was like tug of war. Thankfully, the don't spend side of the rope won out a majority of the time. we did have a couple items that I just did not expect to come through that came through. And then we had a couple items that were family related. I hung out with my kiddo, for both of these expenditures. And then it broke through for the 511 for the Temu purchase. So the total purchase was a little bit under $30. So I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to work those into the numbers, or what I'm going to do to try to offset that. Because right now I'm budgeting down almost to the penny to make sure that we come out of this month, if not even, but ahead going into the next one. So if you made it all the way through this video with me, you are a rock star, and I would love it if you would put your favorite heart emoji down in the comments. If you like today's video, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel and you would like to continue following my crazy journey, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you get notified anytime I post a video. And I hope that you all have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.